So again, we are doing another little star, and we're going to be using this really nice 3-8-2-1 thread. And we're going to be again using it in full. We're not going to be breaking it down into separate strands. So we're going to be using all of the strands. And we're going to come up just here. This one's a slightly more poofy star, but you'll see the difference between the last one that I did and this one once it's completed. But it looks just as effective, and it looks really, really good when you see it. So we'll just go down just there. And then instead of like we did on the last one, where you go to the side and then you go down to the side, for this one we are coming up, and instead of going down here, we're going down here. So we're going to go down just there at the side of the other one, and that way it crosses over all the time and it creates this really, really nice raised look, which is really, really quite effective. Now we're not going to put quite as many stitches in this one, because otherwise it will be absolutely massively pronounced. So just be aware of how many stitches you are putting in. So we've got 3, now we've got 4 going on this side. Okay, so I'm going to put another one in, oh, just fractionally below there, just there like that. And then we do need to make sure that we get another one here before we put one more in that will go to that point. And this way you get a much, much better point than when we did the last one. Okay, so we've got that one in, and then we're going to come over just here with that next one, and we're going to go down into that point just there. Okay, so every time you're on a corner there, you need to make sure that you're in the point or in the corner of the other one, and that is how it will finish. So we're now on the straight and narrow, as it were. So we're going to do 1 just there, and these are again crossing over really nicely. Do 2, I mean you can, if you wanted to, put little dots instead of lines for this, and then it depicts exactly where you need to go with those stitches, and that might make it much, much easier for you. But some people aren't that way inclined and some people are, so it depends on what you find easiest, and it's all about, you know, making things easy for you. So I'm going to put one more in there just before I get to that corner, just there, and then we'll get that one right on that corner just there. Looks really, really effective, doesn't it? I've just fractionally gone into that previous thread, so I'm just going to pull that thread just slightly to the side there like that. Just straighten that up, and then we can start going on to the next little bits. And this is even now, so this one will be even with the other side. Now I'm just going to do one more stitch here with this thread, because it's starting to get A, short, and B, shredded, so we don't want it to get too shredded, and we want to be able to finish it off as well. So I'm just going to poke that over to my left out of shot, and then I'm going to start my next thread that I've already threaded up to make things much, much faster and quicker. So we've got this one just here like that, and we're going to go down just there with that one, and then we'll go just here, and then we'll get one more in, and that will be our point to corner again. So we'll get that one in just there, and then we'll get our nice little point to corner in just here. It looks really, really good, doesn't it? It looks very effective. I do particularly like this effect. Let's make sure that lies nicely over there. And then we're going along that straight line again. So we've got one there, going to about there. And then we just need to fill in that straight line. We might need a third thread because this is quite thread hungry. So if you do need a third thread, don't worry, you can just thread that up at your leisure. So we've got another 2 stitches and then the corner to corner. Corner to point, corner to point. So we just need to do one more just there and then we can get that nice little point in. That's going to be rather fractional. I think I went slightly too far apart just on that top little bit. So just make sure now that you are bunching those a little bit more together to make sure that you finish off at that corner. Okay, so on our home run now, we've got our last little bit to do. And these are rather similar in size, these 2 lengths. So just need to make sure that we do the right amount of stitches and they are the right amount of distance apart. So we're just going to come up there and we're just going to go down right there, and then I think we'll get 3 more stitches in, but again I have run out of thread, so I'm just going to finish that thread off just there, and then we're going to start a new thread. So we'll just carry on now, do our last few stitches and then we will be done. That's amazing, doesn't it? I do particularly like this. I think one more stitch is in order and that's it. So just get rid of that little bit there. Sometimes when you're starting threads and finishing them, you do get a little bit of dross. There we go. There's our beautiful little star. It looks absolutely fabulous, doesn't it?